Hey everyone, what's up? You are listening to the Evolve with Emily show, and I am your host, Emily Hayden. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Mike Chabot. He is a personal trainer, an online personality. He has his own app, and he actually recently also partnered with First Form. So Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Of course. Mike, can you give us a little insight into who you are, where you're from, and just a little bit of your background?
Yeah, I'm from Montreal, Canada. So I moved to LA permanently like a year ago.
Oh, I didn't know it was that recent.
Yeah, I've been coming for 4 or 5 years now, but made the move like permanently. LA is a special city. I was waiting a little, need to be ready for it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, and I've been training and doing social media, I think, for 8-9 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Training and then social media, maybe 7 years.
Okay. So
yeah.
What's your main style of training? Like, how do you like to train? Because you look great. If you don't know, guys, go follow him on Instagram. His links will all be below. He's male model, incredibly in great shape, like looks that way year round. So like, what's your method of training and how do you stay that way?
I changed it a lot. Like I did competition, Mr. Canada, Toronto Pro Show.
Oh,
and all
dope.
that
I didn't know
stuff.
you did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started as men's physique.
Okay.
Wanted to go pro. And then I rerouted for like a leaner look, more athletic, more. I always train similar. It's just you change the calorie and stuff. But I train in hypertrophy. But now I'm training more, incorporating yoga, calisthenic, like body weight, on top of workout.
Oh wow. Okay. So what does a typical like week look like for you as far as your like split goes? I guess. So I know the guys are like, how do I do this?
So it depends on the month. I'm gonna do intensification month and then a little fallback, not to always push on your nervous system. So depending on what I do, I'm gonna do either a split, like bodybuilding split. So I would do, let's say, leg, then chest and back or whatever. Or some month I'm gonna do lower and upper. So 2 times upper body, 2 times lower body, to make sure you hit the leg enough and always have them. And normally I never train more than 4 times a week for body like fitness. And then I can do home workout, like practice my calisthenic or do yoga or hiking, fitness, tennis, anything like boxing, MMA, everything that is not related to fitness.
Gotcha. Okay. And I think what you said is really important. How you said like sometimes you're going like, all the way and then other times you pull back a little bit. That's hard. Like even for myself, like I always want to go balls to the wall,
Yeah.
I feel like people feel like they have to do that too in order to keep their shape, like they have to be having those insane workouts. But I think you're like proof that like you don't always have to.
Yeah. The problem with always going intense, and that's what I had previously when I was competing, Mr. Canada and stuff, and all my friends that are IFBB and stuff, tons of injury because you're always pushing the machine so hard. And you never take off because there's a competition after another competition, and then you need to get ready. And you see other guys are getting big, and then you're like, oh damn it, okay, I need to push it.
Yeah.
So it's putting always that super high stress on the body. At one point, my knees were hurting, my elbows were hurting, and I was 24. I was like, damn, this is not good. And I didn't see that much change in the result, like slowing down. Like study proves that you need those little time off. The guy take them as a time off competition, but when you don't compete, it's good to take it like every second month, like kind of a little back off. You still go intense at the gym, but it's just that you're gonna maybe no superset, no like things that are super stressful on the nervous system. So more like normal training.
Yeah, so don't go in there and go to like failure and do pyramid sets and drop sets and yeah, I get you. I'm curious, what got you into fitness in the first place, and were you always in shape, or like what was that starting point for you?
I was always watching like Hercules or Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they were amazing shape, and Terminator, and I was like, wow, this looks good on the screen. And I always had like the vision of being in shape. I was like, all those people have amazing body. So at 15, back then there was only like Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman. So we started like that, like watching those videos, being motivated, going 2 hours at the gym.
Yeah.
And then at 19, I got a big motorcycle accident. And I don't think I would have survived without like the muscle mass and all that stuff and being super healthy.
Wow. Was this in Montreal that you got in the accident?
Yeah. So I was 6 months off work, checking stuff, and also when I had money, I had no shape, and when I had a shape, I had no money because I was putting so much effort on the gym.
Oh, wow.
So my businesses were lacking. And at one point I was like, how can I be paid to be hot and in shape?
Stop it. That's literally your life now.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, where can I make it to the top? I had a great aesthetic. Like, this is genetic. Like, I'm blessed that the muscle, how they look on camera and stuff, it's all genetic. So I was looking at myself. I was like, wow, I have great genetic. I'm sure I can make it to the top in fitness. So that's how it started. I was like, I'll be paid to be an IFBB pro and this and that.
Wow, that's amazing. So, okay, the reality is when you earn your pro card, you don't get a check, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what you did, I think, is you leveraged what started to happen, which was like social media. So, when did that start to take off for you? And how did you start to have the business mindset towards social media?
I started with a business. So back then there was a guy, Mark Fit.
Yeah. Wait, I know that. I know him. Yeah.
Yeah. He used to be really, really big on Facebook back then. He still has 6-7 million community on Facebook. Like, he was really big. And I knew he was making good money, like, fuck, 30,000 a month back then. Like, when I was 23, I think, 22.
Yeah.
So he was in my neighborhood. So we had some friend in common. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, bro, tell me how you do. What do you do? I want to make money like that.
Yeah.
And he showed me everything. He was humble enough to meet me.
That's crazy that he did that.
Yeah. It's like, the guy was really nice, humble. We meet. He told me all his secret. And then I started. Went on Facebook. First month, got 60,000 follower.
Wow.
Didn't like it. Didn't like how Facebook was doing stuff. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should try Instagram. So went straight up on Instagram.
Do you remember what year you started Instagram?
I think I was...
I'm just so curious.
22, 23, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think 23.
Okay.
Around that.
Okay. And so how was that process for you? Because that's back when it was organic growth, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could post and people would see your post if they were following you. Oh, the glory days.
Yeah, it was a good old day. Honestly, I went quick. Like, back then, you know, there was all those tattoo page, fitness model page. So since I was tattooed, in shape, good looking, good face, I was being reposted on every single different page.
Wow.
So for me, I started with a growth of minimum 500-600 follower a day.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah. All organic.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I miss it. I remember, like, when I first started growing, I mean, I got up, and I know you did too, but I got up all the way to, like, I remember a day where I was checking, it's like 1,000 followers a day for a little while. And I was like, yeah, like, this is great, you know? Just being able to build that sort of community and build basically a business and a future for yourself. Because I think people with the right mindset, they see it correctly. They don't see it for just like clout or like being popular. They see it as like, this is my network of, you know, how I can then start a business or promote myself. So it's cool that you've been able to cultivate that this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, I'm going to be fully honest with you right now, because I'm self-aware enough to catch myself when I do this. But I think that just initially seeing you, I think I judged a book by a cover a little bit. And I try not to do that. And I recognize it in my head. I'm like, hey, you don't know them. Like, don't assume things, you know? So, like, I think the first time I saw you, I was like, oh, like, it's a popular fitness guy, you know, and you kind of have these preconceived notions of like what they're going to be like. And I feel like people, when they reach your page, they may initially think the same thing, like, oh, it's another fitness personality, which I'm fully aware people do that to me. I've had people say this about me as well. But, you know, you have these preconceived notions in your head. And then what you do is you get to your Instagram stories or you get to like your captions and you're like, oh, there's like some depth here, you know? So you're not just like this guy who's reached this peak level in fitness, but I also see you as someone who's reached a level in their mindfulness and their mentality and their spirituality. So at what point did you start to do some personal development and growth on your mindset? Was that something that you had when you started this business, or did it happen like after, you know, what was that process like?
I was born like that. No, I'm
Hell
kidding.
yeah, that's what's up.
Honestly, I didn't always do it for the right reason, you know?
Okay.
And that's why I think that there was a lack, you know, the universe only gives things when you're ready and you have the potential to do it. So if you don't vibrate at the right frequency, and I think that's what blocked me the few first year that I was doing it. You know, I was doing it for money. I was arrogant. I was like, I don't really give a fuck about people. Like, not that way, but
Yeah.
I put it very grossly that, hey, I want money. I'm going to help you to be in shape, but give me money. And it's like, I was still young, like 24. And I was like, I'm a good looking guy. Like, I don't understand why people, like, I was kind of arrogant on the way that I approach things.
Okay.
And the same thing when I saw you the first time. I saw you with Alpha Lead back then. And the good thing is you had YouTube. So it's like YouTube, you see the vlog, you see the person more than a picture. So I knew that you were amazing just on the vlog. Like I see, oh, she's a cool girl. She's not like, so me, I didn't have YouTube. So as you said, people have like just this, oh, look at this guy. He's just full of himself, like shirtless picture, because that's fitness.
Yeah.
And I always been into personal growth as of 18, 19 years old when I was doing MLM back then.
Okay.
So, you want to be like the leaders, so you start doing personal growth. But I didn't grasp everything that was. I read the book that I read back then, and I'm like, wow, I didn't see it that way,
Totally.
So.
Well, and also I think we go through different phases of our lives. So even now, like I could go back and read a book I read even just a year or two ago, and I see something different, or I learn something new, and I'm like, oh, it hits a little different having more experience under my belt.
Exactly. So I think I really went very much higher in spirituality and finding my purpose, I think, like in the last 2 years.
Okay.
More in 2020. So social media is a love-hate relationship. And
why is that for you? I understand, but
I almost quit in 2020 at the beginning of the year. I made a big choice. So people only see what's nice. Oh, the fan, the money, you do nothing, but you have no personal life. You have no break at all. Every time you travel, it's for content. Every time you do anything, it's for content. And if you want YouTube on top of it, it's like, okay, I'm going to dinner with my girl, or I'm going dinner with a friend. I need to record it, post it, plus the story, plus now TikTok, plus this, plus that, plus YouTube. It's like at one point, you're disconnected from reality. You're so caught up in everything. And I was just tired of everything. Like, and people, they don't realize, but they're so selfish and egocentric that when they DM you, they want you to answer. But hey, bro, I have 4 million followers, 5 million followers on platform combined. I receive 300-400 DM a day. I'm doing my best to answer people. And if you don't answer their comment, if you don't, people, they don't realize. They just want attention. And you put tons of content on YouTube. You put tons of free content everywhere. And at one point, you're like, people don't even appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like they're like vampires trying to just suck you for everything you'll give them. Yeah. Sometimes, not everybody, but there are people that are like that. Yeah,
on millions followers, you get people like that. So I'm blessed that I have an amazing community on Instagram. People always defend me. They're always like, when I post a video of my dog, like people were like crazy commenting.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
A lot of support. Like, I'm blessed for the community that I built. And in 2020, I just made it that, okay, no more sexy stuff. No more. I don't want that type of attention on social media, because, you get caught up at one point that we start to lose organic reach.
Yeah.
And then we start doing the sexy stuff to get back, because sex sell.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, I'm tired of all that stuff. I don't need that attention anymore. So I started working on myself. Took 7 months of traveling last year, 3 months in Bali, just finding myself. Came back strong in 2020. I was like, I'm going to LA and I'm going to change everything, all my branding. So I created OnlyFans in order to post. I'm not naked. That's what a lot of people go on it and like, oh, you're not naked. No, it's sexy content. So I divided the platform.
Oh, okay.
Like, you want sexy content, now you go on OnlyFans. You want to talk to me dirty, you want to say anything, go for it. This platform is for it. Like, go on it and don't do that stuff on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Because
you needed to create like healthy boundaries for yourself to have different like outlets for different things, right?
Yeah. And if I wanted to grow and help more people, I can't have always like thousands of comments. Oh, I want to suck your dick, this and that on Instagram. It's like at one point, then it scare other people that want to comment meaningful stuff.
For sure.
So,
and there's different aspects to you, right?
Yeah.
So I know for myself, when I joined different platforms, like for example, I was only on Instagram. I was like, there's so much more that I have for people. Where can I do that? So then I started a YouTube. And then with YouTube, I was able to really show my journey and show like my personality. But then I was like, man, I have so much more to say. So then I started a podcast, and I was like, I could breathe deep, because I'm like, you can sit here and talk all day long. It's not like 20-second little things, you know? And so for me, it gave me that like freedom to express myself in different types of way. And I think that's what you're talking about, is realizing that everything was all in one and it didn't work for you. So just having to kind of like reorganize and say, okay, this is for this is going to be for this. And then you being able to just show up best on those individual platforms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I'm starting back with the YouTube. So I do my best on Instagram, and now I want to start YouTube, as you said, to have more like a vlog, fitness tip, like a whole thing.
Yeah.
TikTok is just not mature that much right now, the platform, so I do stupid stuff, anything that
it's funny. I've seen your TikTok videos. I think they're so funny.
Yeah.
Do you come up with the concept yourself?
No, honestly, I steal everything, most of the things.
Oh, right. That's what everyone does, right? You like look at what's trending and then you do it yourself.
I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah. No, I go, you see what's trending.
Okay.
And honestly, right now, if you're hot, you're gonna make it on TikTok. That's the thing, because you're doing the same thing as everybody, but if you're hot, it's nice to look at. So
that's so funny. I love it. Like, I love how, especially men, you guys are just like confident in what you know. You're like, look, this is the fact. This is what it is. There's like no emotions in it. Girls are, I don't know. I feel like girls are more hesitant to like move forward. Or to move forward in that way.
The thing is, TikTok for me, but I can't deny it. That's why I did it. I started, I think, in March, beginning of March. I did
just in March is when you started?
I grew 2.2 million in 2 months and a half. Then I stopped because they banned 19 of my video.
Why?
That was not verified. And as soon as there was a dick print or anything, but I'm a guy, so jogging, shorts, anything that, like you do dances, so you move around, they were banning every single video, shirtless video banning.
Wow.
Now I'm verified, so they don't really mess with my account anymore. That's why I came back on the platform now. But yeah, I did it very quick. And as you said, now I gain between 2,000 to 3,000 people on Instagram because of of TikTok. So I cannot just not post on TikTok, but it's not my favorite platform in terms of right now. I think it's like, it's just you go and you just waste time.
Totally.
It's like to free your mind, but it's nothing like it's not like YouTube that you educate people or you do stuff like, of course there's some video, but if we're honest, it's mostly like
brainless
super
stuff.
young people, girls in bikini, girls shaking ass tits. Everybody wants views, so everybody do
right. They're doing whatever they can for the attention.
Yeah.
Well, I know for myself, one of the reasons why I go on TikTok, which honestly I don't use it very much, but if I do, it's when I've had like a back-to-back day. I'm trying to decompress. I'm trying to not think about anything, and so I go on there and I just like belly laugh like by myself. You know what I mean? In my room, just getting those good laughs in. TikTok is like my outlet for like something funny. I always go for that. So I actually appreciate it. It's funny. Whenever TikTok first started becoming a thing, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, why are people doing this?
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, no, I get it. Like, it's so nice to have just something to laugh at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And I think especially in 2020, I think laughter is such a good medicine. Like for so many things happening, if you're handling a lot of things in life, sometimes you just need a really good laugh. Like go on TikTok, scroll, look at his videos.
It's addicting. Like even me, when I scroll, I'm like, this is so stupid, but I keep scrolling. It's like I'm like, okay, I need to stop. Then I drop the phone and I do something else. But when I say it's not mature enough, it's like, Instagram when we started was not what it is now.
Yeah.
So I see it. I see where TikTok is going. It's going to be good. So I'm building following right now, doing what's popular, trending, dances, whatever. But you don't go on it for education. Or that's what's draining me sometimes. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing something. Like I'm 29. I don't feel like doing those dances.
Yeah, that's funny.
God.
So what is your YouTube going to consist of? Have you kind of decided yet?
Yeah, I'm going to, I started editing the vlog of 2019, a little like travel vlog, like rating hotels and stuff, the food, where's the best travel. So
yeah, because you've done a ton of traveling in your life, right?
Yeah, I did quite a lot. So I recorded some of it, but like it was not, I didn't plan doing a vlog. So my vlog, when I edit them now, they're like not as good as the next one will be when I actually record for vlogging. But I tried to put as much information as I could, like restaurant to go in Bali, stuff like that, and people that don't have any idea of the place, when they go, they can actually find real cool stuff. Fitness, of course, and my life, like business, building businesses, and everything that is spiritual. So I'm gonna teach people.
Oh, no way.
Book review. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do you have like top books that are just on your mind? Maybe like top 2 or 3 that you would recommend people read?
Yeah, my top 3 would be The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I would say Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, and Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements.
Yeah, so good. So that's one thing that when I started watching some of your Instagram stories, you would randomly, not randomly, you do it actually almost every day. You talk about like positivity and being present and all of these things that I was like, oh, this guy has some depth to him. I really respect that. And especially for somebody that has such a large platform and so many different outlets, for you to take the time to come on there and be like, hey guys, like get your mind in the right spot, like be positive, like, you know, be present, and to encourage people in that way, I think is so beneficial. Cause like, I think there are some people like you that, you know, have this massive audience that they're like too cool for school. Like they would never get on there and talk about being present and all these things that I think are so important, you know? So like, how is it that you went from, you said that you were arrogant when you were younger, like most people kind of go through that, I think. Mm-hmm. What made the switch for you, and how are you able to now have a humble enough attitude to care to like speak that into other people's lives?
I think a lot of people are shy of being themselves. Like, they don't want to be judged and stuff like that. Me, I just don't care about anybody's opinion. Like, they like me or not, I'm not going to force it. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. And in 2020, when I was about to quit, I was like, it's either I quit social media or I become really what I want to become. And my goal, I never wanted to be a fitness icon. Like, this was, as I said, I chose it because I knew I could be one of the best. But I wanted to be like Tony Robbins and Joe Dispenza at the beginning.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Like, I want to give seminar, help people with enlightenment and stuff like that. And in 2020, I was like, okay, this year, I'm going to make a big shift because I've been reading books for so many years. And maybe people don't have time, but me, I read 3 books minimum a month. So people should take time to read it. But I was like so exhausted of social media. I was like, I want to do something meaningful, and I don't care about losing followers as of now. I was like, I was not growing anymore on Instagram. I was like, I reached 1 million. I was like, okay, like now I don't care about that. I want to do something else and help people. And I just came in a mentality that now I really want to do it, like help people with health, fitness, and all that stuff. So I think now that's why the universe has aligned everything for me to, the app is coming and everything to help more people. And it was a big financial year for me, 2020 and all that stuff. So I think now that I do it for the right reason, everything is aligning.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how when you get really aligned with like the right thing and doing it for the right reasons, doors just start opening?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you think is something that helped you through really hard struggles that you've had in your life? What's kind of like a mindset or like something that you have to get you through those really hard moments? Because I'm imagining like, you know, the people like when they're, for example, 2020 was so hard on a lot of people. What's something you could tell them like when it just feels like the world is heavy and it feels like, you know, they have that victim mentality of like the world is against them kind of thing? What's kind of like your advice having walked through some of the stuff that you walked through for getting through that?
I think it's the mindset, the mentality, the everyday mentality. It's like, if you're always a victim, if you always see the negative of everything, I think 2020 was one of the best year, if not the best year ever.
Wow.
Because a lot of people realized that they were not happy in relationship, they were not happy in their job, they were not happy in what they do. They actually had time for themselves. The problem with society is they're caught up in the 9 to 5, in the work. The kids, they never take time for anything. So now they had time to think.
Wow.
That's what crashed them, because they were like, fuck, I'm not happy. I have the Porsche, but I'm not happy. I have the big house. I have this wife. I don't like her. Like, I'm stuck with her in the house. And that's what happened. Like,
wow.
It just puts people that you're on the edge now. Take time for yourself. And 2020 was a big year for consciousness shift. Sorry.
A consciousness shift.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I had trouble with that word right now.
It's okay.
So, yeah, it's like a big year that people actually took time for themselves. And like, I had friends telling me like, oh my God, it's so boring in house. Like, I can't do anything. I'm like, bro, I don't even have time for my day. Like,
yeah, because
I read, I do this, that. It's like, if I could add an hour, like quarantine is my life. Like you see it as a curse. I see it as, it's good. I take time to meditate, play piano, learn another language, like do stuff.
Yes. Oh man, that's crazy. It's cool too, because I kind of did the same thing. I immediately went to Texas and my dad has a piano there. So I started practicing my piano again. I actually got a language instructor from this app called italki. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's an app and you can pay somebody that lives in that country to teach you their language for super cheap.
That's cool.
So you like pay them through the app. And so I did it like twice a week. I was doing Portuguese and I did stop like halfway through this year. So I need to restart it again. But it was so much fun. And I think it's interesting to see how people handle the same situation, right? Because while we have different life experiences, we all experienced 2020 together, and there are some people that decided to be the victor in their lives, and there are some people that decided to be the victim in their lives, or people that just decided to do nothing at all. So speaking of that, you know, we are all hopeful that 2021 is going to be better, but the reality is we don't actually know what's going to happen. So like, what would you say is your advice for people for going through this new year, for how to like really take control over their own lives?
I would read The Power of Now, that's for sure, especially for 2020 was a big thing. The thing is, if you live in the future, you live in the expectation that's going to happen. Oh, I want Trump to win. I want Biden to win. I want this. It's like you're always living in the expectation that, oh, when he's going to be president, when this is going to be done. But it's not going to be like that. There's always going to be something like, and actually, let's say you vote for one candidate and you want him to be elected. You're actually putting the stress of a future event that didn't happen yet. And you're going to live the stress or the deception when it happens. So learn to live in the present moment. Do what you have to do. It's okay to acknowledge that, hey, I would like things to change, or I would like to do this in the future, do a plan. But if you don't live in the moment, that's when it's a problem, because you put too much stress on you. So I think people should live in it now, what they can do today, and what's affecting their life today.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Like, really ask yourself, what I'm stressing about, is it really going to change my life right now on a Friday? And if the answer is no, then focus on whatever you have for your Friday. I think that's huge. Something else too that I think is just vitally important is having a morning routine. And I know that you have a really good morning routine. So can you just share with us what it looks like?
Yeah, mine is I added a lot of stuff. Like it's like fitness. You know, you do some stuff. Same for nutrition. But at the point that I am, it's like I'm a machine. Like so I check the water I put in my body. I'm vegan. It's like everything as something. So when I'm gonna tell the routine to people, it's like, you don't
it sounds
need
like
to
a
have,
lot.
Yeah, you don't need to have all that. You can start with some stuff, but yeah. So normally I wake up, put music. Now I bought a little trampoline, so I do 5 or 10 minutes on the little trampoline.
Why?
Your body's energy and water, so you need to make it flow. So, and you can't be sad jumping on a trampoline. It's like my friend, I swear, they come, they're like, why you buy that? I'm like, jump on it, and then they smile. I'm like, you see, that's why, because as soon as you wake up, you do this, then you're gonna do cold shower or cold bath.
Why?
I made a whole YouTube video on it. There's like 19 reasons, but basically...
Is the video already out? Like, can I link it?
Yeah,
okay.
You can link it. There's a lot of benefit for the skin, the mind and stuff, but I do it for the purpose that, same thing that you do your bed. It's something, but the cold shower is harder, but it's something you don't want to do, and you start your day with a victory. So you go, take your cold shower, you suck it up, and then it also produces a lot of hormones, start your body the right way. You also need to drink a lot of water. And me, I drink 1 liter of water. I'm going to add a tea with fresh lime juice and lemon juice, organic, with ginger. And I take a ginger tea, caffeine free, because I don't drink caffeine.
No caffeine ever?
At all, ever. Not anymore.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I used to be addicted to energy drink and stuff like that, and coffee. But I noticed that coffee puts a lot of stress on your body. It's like, if you would go back in time, it's like you're waking up, there's a tiger next to you. That's what coffee does to your body. Wow. Okay. Stress, rush all the hormones. Like, you're super stressed on your nervous system.
Yeah.
And you're going to notice that people that drink coffee have a really hard time to wake up. No matter what's the time. Like me, I can wake up at any time because my body never has those shift of energy, of flow. Because coffee is a high, crash. So people are going to drink 3, 4, 5 in a day, still feel tired.
Yeah.
And
how did you kick caffeine? That's hard.
Yeah, it's the last thing that you want to kick, I think, because it's more addicting than sugar.
Wow.
I tried it in the Maldives. I started in the Maldives. I told myself, since I'm traveling in Bali, the coffee is not that good. Like, some place it's okay, but it's not like they have a coffee culture there. So I was like, coffee is not taste good. Let me stop everything. No coffee for 2 months.
Wow.
I came back. And then I went to Australia, and Australia has very
great coffee. I love
so
Australian coffee.
I fall again.
Yeah.
And when I came back here in LA, I gradually stopped it. The thing is, I really like the taste. So sometime I'm still gonna drink a decaf, coconut milk decaf. Still has 7 or 8 milligrams of caffeine, which is very low.
Even a decaf does?
Yeah, because they can't remove everything, so they say it's decaf, but that's why you can't drink it every day. But I started like that. I started drinking decaf every day for 2 months, and then I gradually skip days. It's like everything you want to do. You it's like your morning routine. You're gonna add stuff. So me, I started like that. Now I added stretching in the morning, and then I start my day. Like I start working, I take my supplement, I do everything, and then I start the day.
Okay. Do you have a nighttime routine at all, or do you just kind of go to bed whenever?
I try to go to bed always at around the same time, depending on the day. Mostly around 11, like 10:30, 11. I'm gonna read for between 30 minutes to an hour, and when I'm tired, I close the book and I sleep. I try not to touch my phone for the last 40 minutes I'm in bed.
Okay, yeah. I feel that really affects me too. Like if I actually stick to that, I'm fine. And then if I don't, I'm like scrolling on my phone late at night and I'm like, oh, why can't I sleep?
Yeah, that's it. If I get lost on TikTok, then I see it. I don't sleep as good. That's why if I want to waste time a little, I go TikTok. And if I extend it, then I force myself to read for 30 minutes
Oh,
still.
smart. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So I know 2020 has been such a crazy year. And I know there's been like, different topics that happen like literally it felt like every single week there's something new to talk about in the real world. You've been pretty open and vocal about what you think about things. And one thing that I love is that, man, you just like, you don't care at all what people think. Like you just say it how it is, so much to where I'm like, I'm just going to screen record this and post it because I agree. How are you so confident to be outspoken about what it is that you believe, especially in this like political climate that we have?
First, it's my audience. It's my platform. I built it. If you want to say something, build your own. So that's always my first thing. Second thing is, I don't find it disrespectful. Like people that vote for Biden, they say it out loud and they don't give a fuck about people. And I respect them. You want to vote for whoever you want to vote. That's why we live in a democracy. People forget to be human. Like I was at the gym this morning and a guy was pro-Biden. And we talk and I'm Trump. And he was bashing Trump. And I'm like, I don't like Biden. But you know what? You're a cool guy. I don't mind that you like do what's best for you. So that's why like I don't want those people that if they judge me for anything that I say, then I don't want them on my platform. Because at the end of the day, it's my right to say whatever. If I want to say that I believe in spirituality and that I can, like, there's a lot of stuff that I believe, I just say it. And if it offends you, then it's not my problem. It's your problem because I'm just stating fact. I'm not saying that, hey, you're a piece of shit. I'm saying that, hey, this is what I view. This is my view on the vaccine, on the election, on whatever. And then I'm giving you facts and opinion, and then if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, then you don't. Then
have you gotten a lot of like feedback from it, either positive or negative?
Mostly positive. I get a few DM once in a while, but it's never people that have something smart to say. So
that's such an important point. That's so true. Oh man.
It's like, okay, let's say that we're gonna say, I vote for Trump for whatever reason. They're like, oh, you're so dumb, you're so fucking stupid. I'm like, okay, do you have any
just
facts?
Insults.
Yeah, do you have facts? You want to talk facts? Let's talk facts. I'm against the vaccine. You're so dumb. Let that to the professional. Bro, 10 years that I'm in this, you think because the guy has a PhD, has more knowledge. I probably read way more book than he did. And on the topic on top of it, like I read medical book, like I do tons of research. Like people have no idea what's behind what, like the research that I do, everything that I do. And the guy that taught me everything also in Canada has 65 diploma. Like I don't come from, I'm not stupid. Like when I talk about stuff, I did the research and I give you my opinion based on those research. So then it's like vaccine to me is dangerous. There's side effect. And then if you want to take it. But it's like, I want you to know that there's side effect.
Right. It's like you're there to educate and share your own opinion on things. And not just opinion though, but things that are backed up by facts and by research. I agree the same. Like I was in an Uber last night and the guy, we get into it, right? I love when Ubers do this because I don't know you. I'm never going to see you again. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And so he's like, hey, so you taking the vaccine? I was like, absolutely not. And he goes, oh, yeah? I was like, yeah, what about you? He goes, actually, no. He shared a story how he had one of the top medical researchers in his Uber. And so he was like picking her brain about everything. And she's one of the ones that's on the front lines that has to promote it. And he was like, are you going to take it? Is your family going to take it? And she was like, absolutely not.
Exactly.
And so it's just, but she said that she could never talk about that. And so he was like, I've been sharing it with everyone that I can because, she'll get kicked out of the medical community if she says anything about it, being in her position.
That's a problem. Money is a problem. Corruption is a problem. Like, it's funny when people like, why would they lie to you? Well, they've been lying for a lot of stuff. And fuck, they don't want you to, if they cure someone, if they do anything that people get healthy, to me, they lose a customer.
They lose
Don't
money.
forget, you're a customer for them. You're not someone. Me, when I actually educate people, they're not customer most of the time. So I do it for free. I'm telling you straight up fact that I tested on my body, stuff that, like, I don't care. You do it or you don't. And it's like, we know dairy is bad. I say it, and people still eat ice cream. So why you get so mad when I say shit about vaccine?
Yeah.
It's like, people should react the same way. Take it if you want to take it, and don't if you don't want to take it. But then it's your body. But don't come to me after, like, if you got Bell palsy and half of your face is stretched, or people died, and they're like, it's not that bad. It's only a few people. Like, yeah, same as COVID. It's like tobacco killed 8 million people. COVID 1.2. I don't know. They still sell tobacco. Everything is still open for it. It's an essential business in Canada. What the fuck you mean, essential tobacco?
Yeah, wow. I also saw they're already pushing the narrative that, hey, if you see a bunch of people dying after the vaccine, it's normal. I was just like, this is like, this whole world, this whole 2020 has felt like not reality. It's felt like this horror movie where you're like, there's no way that this is reality. There's been so many like clips that I've seen or videos where I'm like, this is fake, right? And you're like, there's no way that this is real. And you go and look into it and you're like, this was an actual interview. Like, this was real. Same thing with, like, I saw this, she was like this Democratic leader the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but it was this video of her saying, like, soldiers get ready. Like, anyone that voted against us, like anyone that didn't vote the way that we voted, like, make them pay, all these things. And I'm just like, how is this legal?
Or
Come
Dr.
to find out.
Fauci, it's like, my black African community, you should take the vaccine first. Like, why you make a vaccine racist? Like,
literally, like, you just turned a vaccine racist. How did you do that? Like, why did you bring race into something like that?
Oh, it attacks more black people. No, maybe more black people died from it, but it doesn't mean that, like, the COVID is racist now. Like, stuff like that. It's like, I have a hard time with everything that's been said.
I do too. I think if anything, it should just raise some red flags for people. I saw Angela, I forgot her last name, Staten or something. She posted and said, anytime that someone is trying to tell you that you should do something based on the color of your skin, like whether it's white, black, Asian, anything, that should like raise a flag of like, what is the narrative behind this? Like, why would they try to get a whole group of people into doing this? And I think that's one thing that 2020 really taught me, was to ask really good questions and question everything.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to. I think some people have this stress that, like, oh, well, I don't know. You know, they don't really know the answer, so that they don't know to question it. But it's okay to say that.
It's okay to say I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to say I don't know. It's okay to ask questions too. And anyone that tells you that it's not okay to ask questions, is another red flag. Like, you, as Americans, as humans, as people, you should always be able to ask questions about things.
Yeah.
I think that's how you gain clarity on certain situations. So if they're not doing that, if they're not transparent, if they're not clear, if they're not allowing that honesty, I think that should raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, and people forget that they work for us, the government of the people. That was the Constitution, and we forget about it. Now it's being corrupt. It's all about the money. They don't give a fuck about people. Don't forget, if it takes another civil war, they're gonna get it, because America is not gonna let this happen.
Hell no. It's
the same. It's like, and it's funny when a lot, like, you know, those people that are always gonna say something. It's like when they said to Andy was saying the same. People were like, oh, you're racist because you vote for Trump. The guy at the gym this morning was like, people that vote for Trump are racist. I have like 4 of my best friends are black. Like, all my friends are immigrant. I'm like, what do you mean I'm
really
racist? Where do you base that from? And on top of it, it's like, or people, oh, Mike, you should get out. You don't even have the right to vote. Bro, I'm Native American. I don't know. Like, I don't tell it on social media.
Yeah.
But when people tell me, oh, you should get out of your country, of my country, like, bro, this is my country. I'm Native. Yeah. My family was here way before you.
Yeah,
like, do I judge you on this? No. Like, people always attack instead of just being nice on a conversation and saying that. So now I just don't react. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, I tried to get to know the person. And like this morning, the guy, I pull up at the gym, outdoor gym, no mask. First thing, he start bashing on me. I don't even reply. I used to tell him, hey, fuck off. Like, wear your mask if you want and leave me alone. And I was with Alfie, and he said, hey, bro, I'm going to train even without the mask. And then the guy was just getting mad. I look at Alfie. I'm like, just don't talk to him. Do your thing. Yeah. And when the guy calms down, after we had a big chat, the guy was super cool. He was the guy that was for Biden, but he was super nice. We talked. He was in the movie industry. And at the end, he was lowering his mask and really next to me to talk to me.
Wow.
And at the beginning it was like 6 feet, put your mask. Like people forget that we're humans.
Wow.
And if you react to an attack, it's like if your girlfriend is really mad, she says something really mean, and you say like, oh, you're just a bitch. You think it's gonna you think it's gonna
that's like fuel to the fire.
yeah. It's like we know so think about of all the people right now, like women are super emotional, so you need to be careful how you handle fights. So if you handle fights with a fight, it's not gonna be good. But if you calm down and you analyze situation and you talk with another human as a human, I think it's the best way to do it right now.
Oh my gosh, that's such good advice, especially in the climate that we're in right now, because I think people are lacking the ability to have just open, peaceful conversations. And I think if we could just have better conversations as people, especially with people that think differently than us, we can learn so much. And like, it's almost like before, maybe you'll have ideas. Like he thought that everyone that voted Trump was racist, right? And then he meets you. He's actually open and he's talking to you. You guys have a conversation. Now he has evidence and experience of one person not being racist that voted for Trump. Because maybe he really believed that. Maybe he really thought like people who vote for Trump are very racist. And now he knows, this is going to make me question things now because now this is against what I previously knew. And here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Exactly. And if I told him like, hey, fuck off, you old, blah, 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 then he's like, another young guy that's just racist and whatever. And then you're not going to make a positive impact. And then every time you see him, he lives in the complex, whatever, it's awkward. Like, just be decent human and be nice with people. And I remember one guy I knew from Canada, I was making video in French for Quebec people because they're still in lockdown. And 2 months ago, I told them everything is going to happen. And I had some negative feedback.
Wow.
People were like, I had a lot of positive, but people were negative. They're like, Mike, you conspiracy. And now I'm like, oh, bro, is the gym open? Is things open? You have Christmas? No, they cancel Christmas. $6,000 fine if you do Christmas in Quebec.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're crazy there. And the health of Quebec said that they should still do Christmas. And the prime minister just decided to close it without consulting his health. Like,
wow.
So now it's doing a big clash. But people, I'm like, guys, I told you it was coming 2 months ago. And one guy back then, he was bashing people in the post. And it's a guy I know. And so I called him. It's a guy I know. So I called him. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like, first, stop insulting people in the post. This is really bad. And I'm not here to give you a lesson, but here, this is the fact. And we talk, and now he's making pro-Trump Facebook posts. I don't want to change people's opinion, but I told him facts. I told him to look at, and I told him this is not a good approach. He's like, oh, I like trolling people. I'm like, but bro, right now he's just putting oil on the fire. Try to be a decent human and stop fucking around with people. Like, it's okay to have different opinion, but just insulting people not gonna make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're such a good role model for people, especially right now. So I know that you've been through a lot in your journey, and you've had to walk through your own bullshit and arrogance, as all of us do. But it's really beautiful to see like where you're at now and how you're leading, because I think you're really a leader in the industry and you have a lot going on. So I'm just like, I don't know, I feel really honored and like special that I get to know you and get to share your story with the audience today too, because there's a lot of life lessons that I think people can learn here if they really just dig deep into what we said and apply it to their own lives. And I think that it's one of those things where once you start going down this personal development journey, I feel like once you learn like, oh, I really need to work on these things in my life, it humbles you in a way to know that like you always have something to work on. You know, like life is always a journey of like evolving into that next best version of yourself. So with where you're at right now, what are you excited about to come? I know you have an app. I know you have some programs and stuff. Tell me a little bit about, the programs that you have to offer. Like if people are like really resonating with you, where can they go to find you and to be a part of your community?
Cool. So I still going to do Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to get more on YouTube a lot more. Now my app is releasing. If everything is good and Apple approve it now, it's 15th of December is the date.
Oh, that's soon. Yeah. Oh, congrats. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
soon.
It should be live by the time that this podcast is posted.
Yeah, everything should be done. Now I'm not going to take people. So I had always trouble with people online training because they didn't know what to eat, didn't know how to change the diet, didn't know how to work out, they're missing the exercise. So now we just did an app that has everything in video and everything, like you can change it, the app adapt everything for you based on how I would train you as a one-on-one.
Oh, wow. So you made it adaptable like for the individual.
Yeah, so it's like when I'm creating a diet, normally it's like, let's say you're a personal trainer, you ask for stats, height, weight, like everything that you do, the app, and then the app, I created a formula that adapted and change it after depending on where you are.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So so it adapts.
Okay, so it has like workouts and nutrition, like all of it in there.
Yeah, and there's a lot more future coming. There's also a daily planner, a weekly planner, so you can plan your workout, your meal, your recipe, and when you put the recipe, it creates you a grocery list. So
dope.
Yeah, we created everything so people don't have to think, they can actually focus on their journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it now. Next year, I want to do like more conferences, personal growth and stuff. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with COVID. I used to be life coach for people online.
Oh, cool. Okay. How would you do that, or how did you work with your clients? Like, was it like a phone call type thing, like mentorship?
It was like a mastermind group every Friday.
Oh, cool.
But then we changed it. I had to shut it down because when we had a lot of people, then we couldn't. I needed to find a better way to help them, like, and to grow it. Like the app can help 100,000 people, million people.
Oh, that's great.
So I needed to find a way to do it, and I think conferences are giving a Skype or whatever is going to be better, not on one-on-one, but to apply to everybody. So I'm working on it right now. I'm thinking of how I'm going to do it.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I've really appreciated our conversation, and I know your time is very valuable. You have a lot going on. So thank you. Everyone, please make sure to follow him on all of his platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, his app. Everything will be linked down below. So tag him in that. Also tag us both in your stories as you listen to this episode, and share with us what your favorite takeaway was. Anything else that you want to say before we head off?
Yeah, I would say everybody work on your ego, and don't let your ego be the person that you are. Be your real self, and that's going to be the best.
And you're the best example of that. So thank you.
Still working on it. I'm not perfect. It's like I'm working. I have my flaws too.
Yeah, of course. We all do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. I will see you in the next one. Bye.